Hi everybody, I'm Bob and this is Thailand. Today we're going to go for a motorcycle ride around the old city wall of Chiang Mai, Thailand and show you a thing or two and try not to fall down and hurt ourselves. Come along for the ride. Okay, this is us pulling out into Hui Khao Street. There's 4 restaurants right here that are all good. We're heading east. Behind me is the big temple on Wat Dosatep on top of the mountain. We're coming up on the Lotus and Orchid hotels and a shopping center at Cad Suan Khao. I live about half a mile outside of the city wall area, and we're just slipping on down to where the first stoplight is. That was a couple of monks out collecting rice that we passed a moment ago on the left, and we're coming up to the stoplight. This is possibly the first time in my life it wasn't red. Over to the right you can see the city wall. A lot of it's gone, like the hair on the top of my head. We got to get over here because we loop backwards. I want to take you around the inside loop of the old wall and not the outside loop. I can do that another day. Now here's something really important that I just stumbled upon, information to live by. If you accidentally drop a fork on a fan, you get a forked up fan and a fanned up fork. Words to live by, my friends. Tell the kids. I've got to stop here for a moment to make a minor adjustment, and then we'll be slipping into the inner circle and heading back down toward the other side of the wall. Got to be careful here, folks. If you don't keep your speed up, the scooters will run you down. As you can see, the parts of the city wall are still here, but as a need for protection from attacking tribes out of Myanmar and Laos diminished, and they started needing to maintain the 700-year-old wall. Parts of it were just eliminated. Now here's an interesting thing. I had a conversation with one of my friends a couple of weeks ago, and he said that they had been going to a restaurant and either an Indian or a Pakistani guy was not allowed entrance. And he was mad and was talking to anybody that would listen outside of the restaurant and telling about how he'd been mistreated. But as soon as they went inside, his Thai wife asked the receptionist in the restaurant what had happened there, and she said the body odor was terrible and it would have offended all of her customers. Look out, truck. You can use the side as a decel lane if you want to. Anyway, I just thought it was one of those things you hear about. We're coming up on the west wall gate here. So I just sort of cataloged it as stuff people talk about and not particularly important. But one of my friends one time before had said that he thought Thai people might be the bloodhounds of humanity, and a couple of weeks later, Nulek, my girlfriend from Bangkok, flew up, and I went over to pick her up at the airport, and the night before I had had a cheeseburger. Then I had showered, and the next morning I had shaved just before going to the airport and washed my face. Well, Nulek comes into the terminal, she gives me a peck on the cheek, and she looks right at me. She says, "You've been eating cheese." So I have evidence that Thais are actually the bloodhounds of humanity. They definitely can have sharper sense of smell than anybody else I know. This is the southwest wall corner now, and Bon Hod Park on the left is a really great place to go jogging or do outdoor activity. They've got exercise equipment, and it's very attractive. They got a nice pond. If you check out my video on the West Wall Walk, our only bilingual video, I might add, you will see that it's really lovely. This is one of the gates. There are two of them on the south side. And you can see they've got the fountain zone this morning. I didn't know they did it this early. Usually it's about 9 when I notice them coming on. But that's okay. Maybe they left them on all night. There's another monk out getting rice. The Thai restaurants give the monks rice, which they take back to the monasteries and temples and feed on them. As you can see, the wall and moat have become closer to the road here. That yellow thing was a song towel. It's a rural taxi. And we're coming up on the South Gate Market. It's a busy place, especially early in the morning. It's just about deserted by noon. And in the middle of the streets, there are more vendors set up and selling various items. Sometimes it's clothing, sometimes it's food. It's no way to tell. Now this is the second gate on the south side of the square. Each side is about a mile long, so obviously for all the non-mathematicians in the group, it's a square mile inside of the old city, and it's filled with shops and all trinket shops, clothing, a whole bunch of massage stores, and you can get just about anything you want in the way of tourist stuff in that area. Come on over. In Thailand, the right-of-way is determined by the size of the vehicle, and he's bigger than me, so go ahead, big boy. Coming up on the southeast wall corner and turning on to what most people would consider the main street of Chiang Mai. There's a place up here on the left called Farang Food. Farang is the word for foreigner, so if you want to get some foreign food, like you're homesick or something, you can go over to Farang Food, and we just passed it. They'll take care of you. I've got so many restaurants near me. It's a wide, broad choice every day, from anything from noodles, vegetarian, Thai, pasta, pizza, Chinese, Japanese, and even Mexican. This is the Taipei Gate, probably the best known of the gates. There's a plaza on the other side of the wall, and always a gazillion pigeons. They have signs up not to feed them, but usually the people who are selling pigeon food are sitting on the bench that's beneath the sign saying that. In a moment, we'll be coming up on the Triumph motorcycle dealership here in town. Motorcycles, depending on whether they're made here in Thailand or outside of the country, can have a very different amount you'll have to spend on them. Harleys, for instance, have a 60% tariff. So that's why Harley has come to make motorcycles in an ASEAN nation, so they won't be eat up. That's the northeast wall corner we're cruising past, and Riders Corner, which is a motorcycle bar and a hostel. A lot of these stores have roll-up doors, so you can't really see what's in there until they're open, and I came out riding as early as I could to avoid traffic. In an hour from now, it will be very, very congested, and you'd be looking at the back of the car I'm tailgating instead of getting a look to the right and left. The water from the sprinkler system can get out on the road pretty easy, and if you don't watch out, there are a couple of them that will even spray you as you ride by. It's not like the big holiday Songkran where everybody throws water on everybody. I mean, you can even throw water on the police and the monks. If you do it right, you're supposed to pour a cup of water over their shoulder, not throw stuff in their faces, and you're not supposed to, if somebody indicates they don't want to have water thrown on them, it's actually a 10,000 baht fine if you do. I'm not going to speak to what level of encouragement, by the way, we just passing the north gate. I'm not going to speak to what level of enforcement that law has. And really, it's nearly a mob scene on the street during Songkran Festival, but it's still very popular. Here's some more of the temples on the inside of the city wall. This next one has got a really nice Buddha, but it's very hard to shoot it because of those wires that, as you can see, are found in abundance here in Chiang Mai. We're coming back to where I had to stop before, but you have to reverse direction to get on the north-south route up here and get back over to the condo. So I'm in a different lane this time if you're not too bored by the fact that I've showed you something twice. This is a pretty good curve for inside the city, but the problem is once you come around this curve before the first turnaround, right about under these trees, the Chiang Mai police will set up their checkpoints, and if you're not wearing a helmet and if you don't have either a Thai or an international driver's license, they're going to relieve you of a little bit of your cash. We're going to do our turnaround here. Not much traffic. This would be a very cautious turn during the rush hour period, but we've just about got the whole road to ourselves, and that's fair. We deserve it. Coming back up on the wall corner, on the left, we're going to have one of the 3 hospitals that are within a couple of miles of me. This is supposed to be the best one. And we're going to slip on into Hui Khao West. As I make the turn, you can look up and see Doi Suthep Mountain in the distance. It's about 2 kilometers away right now. And once again, we're passing the the Cad Suan Khao shopping mall right past this, right there. They have celebrations there pretty regularly. Coming up on a new building, we haven't been able to figure out what it's going to be yet. And I'm getting ready to make a right. That tall pink building is where I live. I know Nulik says it's not pink, but I hate to disagree with her, but I do. I think it's pink. Going to get a big wave from a couple of street vendors I know. Good people. And we're going to turn into the undercover parking area. I'm hoping that my favorite parking place is available for me because it's 20 feet from the security guard, and although there's really no crime issues, it still makes me feel good. So I'm going to pull in, and I sure appreciate you going for a ride with me this morning. Ready, 1, 2, shut down that beast. Okay, thanks for coming along for the ride. Hope you enjoyed it. We know you know what to do. Like or subscribe, please. That's what keeps us in business and keeps us making videos. We have about 265 previous videos, and we try to put out one about once a week, but sometimes like this week, we got 2. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate every one of you, and have a great day.